Am I losing any time? I was like, okay, maybe 10 more minutes, inshallah. Okay. All right, so we have covered that. So who tempted David? Third point, you can talk to him about that, and inshallah we'll stop after this. How does Judas died? You know who Judas is, by any chance? Anybody knows who Judas? Yeah, the traitor, right? The traitor who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. So Judas, who don't know this? Judas was one of the disciples of Jesus, right? And he sold out Jesus for 30 miserable pieces of silver. Okay? And Bible says that in the end he hanged himself, or he fell over and burst his bowels open. So depending on what book you're reading. So what you're going to do now is ask him, how does Judas died? So we're going to ask him to read this passage now. We're going to ask him to read Matthew 27:5. It says that Judas threw the money into the temple and left. Then he went away and hanged himself. That's a version in Matthew 27:5. Okay? Then you're going to ask him to read another book, which is fifth book, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's called Book of Acts. And you're going to ask him to read Acts 1:18. He's going to read, with the payment that he received for his wickedness, Judas bought a field. There he fell headlong, his body burst open, and all his intestines spilled out. So tell me, in your book of God, inspired book of God, why there are two different accounts of the death of Judas? Ask him. Ask him these pointed questions. Ask him. Help me to understand. I'm reading your Bible. Please help me understand. I'm a student of knowledge. Make it clear to me. So these are books, right? Synoptic, you weren't here the first day, so yeah, these are synoptic gospels. That means that when Jesus, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, when Jesus walked on this earth, he went to different places and he preached gospel and he performed miracles. So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John records all of that. They're seeing all these events from the eyes of these so-called authors, or the people. No, these are 4 books that describes the life of Jesus, right? So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So how was Jesus born? How did he live? Where did he go? What miracles he performed? And blah, 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 okay? Whatnot. Everything about the life of Jesus, biography of Jesus, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all speak about the same events. Okay? The book of Matthew, book of Mark, book of Luke, book of John. And then you have book of Acts, which are basically the Acts of Apostle. After Jesus was ascended into heaven, right? He had all these disciples, right? What did they do? How did they live their lives? What miracles did they perform? And how did they preach the message of Jesus to people? So book of Acts cover that. Okay? Clear? Any more questions on that? And after that, you have what you call letters of Paul, where Paul wrote these 15 letters to different areas like Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Thessalonians, Romans. These are all the letters that he wrote to different churches in these different regions where he was trying to preach the word of God, so-called the message of, all the message of God to these people. So these are the letters that Paul wrote. Clear? Lose anyone?
Paul was 300 years.
No. He was at least, I say about 15 years after Jesus. Yeah, right after Jesus. So right after Jesus, Paul did not walk, did not talk, did not see Jesus. He was a self-appointed apostle. You see, Judas died, right? Judas was killed. So there are 12 apostles. So Jesus' prophecy was the 12 apostles that I have, they'll be the ones sitting on the throne of David and judging 12 tribes of Israel with me. So to make that prophecy come true, it cannot be 11 apostles. It has to be 12, right? Because Judas is no longer the apostle because he betrayed Jesus. So Paul appointed himself as an apostle for that, the prophecy to fit. That, 12, there has to be 12 apostles. All right? So he was a self-appointed apostle. I gave a handout, and in the back, it describes a little bit about Paul, and you can read about that. Okay? So that's what it is. All right? So that's what it is. Third one. Who's the father of Joseph, husband of Mary? Ask him. Ask him. Okay? So you're going to ask him to open Matthew 1:16 and ask him to read. And it goes like this. And Jacob, the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary, the Mary was the mother of Jesus, was called the Messiah. So in Matthew 1:16, who was the father of Joseph? Jacob, right? It's Jacob, as it says right here. Then you can ask him to go to Luke 3:23. And you're going to ask him to read. Now he's going to read. What is he going to read? Now Jesus himself was 30 years old when he began his ministry. He was a son of, so it was thought, of Joseph, the son of Heli. Now, who was the father of Joseph here? Heli. So which one is true? Who is the father of Joseph? Is it Jacob or is it Heli? And consistency.
So when does Mary get married at that point?
Huh?
So Mary's still a virgin, right, according to the Bible?
Mary was virgin. She married Joseph later. And she had children called like James, who was one of the brothers of Jesus. That's Quran doesn't talk about it. There's no such thing as, according to the Bible, Christianity, that married.
What do they call him?
Mary, yeah.
What would they call him?
Call him the stepbrother. He was a stepbrother from a different father.
Oh, but Jesus was sure the virgin when he was.
Right. But still, they say he's the brother of Jesus, right? Same mother.
So God is a stepson.
Good question. That's what you need to raise and ask him. Did God have a stepson? Yeah, that's a good question. And ask him. That's another question that you need to ask. Did that God have a stepson? Is that what happened? Yeah. So, again, you can poke holes in their theories and their belief with all these poignant questions. But will you stop asking questions? We're too afraid to ask questions and engage them. Okay? So, we're going to leave it at that, inshallah. What time is it now, Dr. Shah?
8:30,
8:28, inshallah.
Yeah.
So maybe another 10 minutes?
No, I think that the
8:40, right? 8:40. So we got about like 10 more minutes. Right. Yeah, to give them plenty of time for do the wudu.
Yeah.
So now the floor is open for the questions. Is there any question that you want to ask? Does what I've said, does it make any sense to you?
I guess the challenge is understanding the different sects, right? So, for example, like here, I come from Chicago, right? So one of the most common ones there are Methodists.
Right.
You have another church like
Yeah.
here
You can still use this. The only people you have to worry about are Jehovah's Witnesses,
right.
And probably Mormon, to a certain extent.
The Mormons, you don't find them here.
They're here. Yeah, they're here. They walk around, but they don't really do a whole lot of debates. They avoid debating you, and I mean they come to your house and type whatever they do. But yeah, so Jehovah's Witnesses and probably evangelist Christians so this will work with them perfectly. This right here, the script will work perfectly with them.
What about the people? Well, the Church of Scientology are they Christians?
Scientologists are not people of Christianity. They say the church, but Scientologists are really not. It's actually a cult. It was founded by L. Ron Hubbard, right? And he has a weird belief that humans are immortal. and what he believes is called, like, humans are like all called thetons. It's a weird belief. We're immortals, and then we're reincarnate, and we're born again, and so just weird belief. It's nothing to do with the Bible or Christianity and or whatnot. Okay, so that's what Scientology is. Yeah, Scientologists are like weird people, and it's actually a cult that there are some horror stories about them.
But they're growing and they're loved.
Because we're not doing our job. We're not conveying, seriously, we're not conveying our message. That's why, look, these people are hungry for truth. They're looking. They become Hindus. They start being like, they would start worshiping the what should we call it? What do you call those people? Yeah, the Hindus that, the Hare Rama, the Hare Rama, Hare Krishnas, right? Those people, they start worshiping Swami Prabhupada, and they start, worshiping whatever they can find, the newest rage. Because these people are reaching out to them, they're standing out of their, by the airports and handing them their books. They're like bald-headed with their little ponytails, and they're playing their drums, and they're singing, and people find them fascinating. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. They're singing about their religion. And I'm too afraid to even speak. These people have no fear, no shame. They can stand by the church and ask, at the airports and ask for donations. And people say, how quaint, how cute. Look at this. This poor man, he's wearing his little, this little dress, white clothing, and he's doing this, and his wife, is wearing a sari and whatnot.
And then we also have problems on the inside law, right, for us. And we got all the imams who feel that God is very lenient.
Yeah, but again, look, Allah has given us a job, right? We do our job. Allah has told me, look, convey the message. I'm going to look, imams, let imam do their jobs. Let them sort it out among themselves. I'm going to do my job, what Quran is telling me to do. I'm not following any imam or particular masjid. I'm only following the Quran. Allah tells, look, convey the message. Convey the message. Say this is the truth from Allah and Allah alone. Convey this. This is it. You're not saying anything, but you're speaking through the Quran. That's it. That's all you're doing.
Why are you not using like those AI, the thing that you showed me, right? Why are we not like making that mainstream? Maybe that's all guided.
I mean, these are like AI videos that we selected. They're available on YouTube. I downloaded from YouTube. Yeah. So this is available.
So how do we, I understand that, right? They're available, but how do we like market those?
Yeah.
Because if they're, like, coming to this, so there are organizations where hire, that can promote your business and get followers like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, why are we not doing this like mainstream and doing something?
They may have been doing it. I'm not aware of, but this is an organization, Muslim organization, who is making these AI videos, ChatGPT videos. There is. Yeah,
Right.
that's you're talking about the Lily J.
Yeah, that's her.
She became Muslim after looking all of this. Yeah.
So, but again, so maybe, this new AI,
Yeah.
maybe we can kind of make a approach over there. I mean, just use that way, but then maybe.
Is that okay if I erase that? Anybody got that?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of work needs to be done in this.
Right, in the New Testament. So New Testament, there are 27 books.
Yeah, certainly. I mean,
27 books.
we have to kind of do like a math.
This is Old Testament. So we have,
production.
right, so you have the yesterday's.
All of these.
Yeah, you got that, right? If you turn the page.
There's no material that we need to do.
So this is all the the first five book of Moses, right? So if you read that, it'll tell you, right? There's the first five book of
People
Moses,
can search it
and
look at
then
it.
you have the 27 books in the New Testament.
I mean, the resources, whatever resources we have, there must be people who might be doing it already. I'm not aware. So I just did searches and tried to look for material that we can use in teaching. So that's how I found them out. They're different. But yesterday I shared a couple of videos also. Today there were two of them. Because of lack of time, they're very fascinating videos.
So the professionals who are experts in this area and how to increase the number of followers.
Yeah.
More
Yeah, I mean, if you are aware of somewhere, someone, certainly that needs to be shown to common people. They can, even this second video I had, they have the script, the Osmanic
So
script.
you got like 4 minutes or so.
Yeah. Okay. And then they have you look at the.
We'll give it to you next week.
Next time we'll give it.
But
to you.
if you
I have
want,
two.
I'll give it to you now. Okay?
I got one, so I want to give it to sister. There we go.
Yes.
And I have one here. You can take it. Yeah, inshallah.
So this would work perfectly if you have like a Bible.
So what I was saying is that,
and you can mark all these verses in there in the
that
Bible.
this is a video
Mark it up or take
that
notes,
you don't
whatever,
have to be like
from
Arabic video.
online, and then you can talk to them.
It shows Allah here, and it mirror images, or it has a symmetry in your language, like in Arabic language. How beautiful it is. How can that can be invented? There's another video. We'll share with you, inshallah. If we cannot show it to you.
How do you show this?
Jazakallah to Brother Adil. He's going to give you a flash drive at the end of
Yeah,
the
so,
course.
and also, we have a YouTube channel, inshallah. You can log in and you can look at all this lecture that's going to be recorded. And also, we will provide you the link to all
All these videos. Yeah.
these videos.
Yeah.
They're going to be posted, inshallah. And we'll send that link to through the, inshallah,
The WhatsApp
through
group that we make.
Yeah.
Where do you store these? Do you have Google Drive or do you have?
You can simply just download it if you want. And we can also, we'll also create like a, you can look in the YouTube. Right? You can create like a link and just watch it any day, anytime you want.
Because again, this is the age of, what do you call those?
The telecommunication. Yeah.
Mini clips, whatever. So, I mean, you need to kind of break this down into the
Right.
Yeah.
parcels.
And also, so next week, inshallah, we'll meet, right?
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
So,
Inshallah. So we'll bring more to come back to next time, inshallah, bring more. And then we can share with everybody else, inshallah. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Excuse me, sister.